You work 40 hours a week, you pay your bills on time, you maybe even put a little into savings each month. So why does it feel like you're running on a treadmill while everyone else is taking the escalator? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The habits you think are keeping you responsible are actually keeping you comfortably broke. That 401k you're proud of? That loyalty to your employer? That treat yourself mentality after a hard week? They're all part of a system designed to keep you exactly where you are. Look, I need to say this clearly. This is not financial advice. I am a guy on the internet tracking corporate mechanics, not your certified financial planner. Do your own math. I'm Tom, and this is the Money Syntax. I'm here to cut through the Wall Street jargon and give you the real talk on your money, even if it hurts your feelings a little bit. If you're someone who works hard, follows the rules, and still feels like you're falling behind, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. The comfort trap. Let's talk about the most dangerous word in personal finance, normal. Normal is getting up at 6 a.m., commuting to a job you tolerate, eating lunch at your desk, coming home exhausted, and collapsing in front of a screen until you do it all again tomorrow. Normal is telling yourself you'll start that side hustle next month, or you'll finally learn about investing when you have more money. Here's what most people don't realize. Normal is a financial death sentence. The Federal Reserve's 2023 survey of consumer finances found that the median American household has about $8,000 in a checking account. Not in investments, not in assets. $8,000 sitting in an account earning 0.01% interest, while inflation eats away at its purchasing power at a rate of 3 to 4% per year. Do the math. If you have $8,000 sitting in a standard checking account earning 0.01% after 1 year of 3% inflation, your real purchasing power has dropped to about $7,760. You lost $240 by doing nothing wrong. By being normal. The financial industry loves this. They call it being responsible. Have an emergency fund, they say. Pay yourself first, they say. But nobody tells you that the emergency fund is designed to be your ceiling, not your floor. The wealthy don't keep money in checking accounts. They don't work for a salary. They don't trade their time for dollars. They own things that produce value while they sleep. The first step to getting there is realizing that most of the habits you think are responsible are actually keeping you trapped. The biggest lie you've been sold is that financial security comes from a steady paycheck and a savings account. It doesn't. Security comes from owning assets that grow faster than inflation and from having multiple income streams that don't depend on you showing up. But to get there, you have to be willing to look at your daily habits and ask the hard question, is this making me richer or is this just making me comfortable? The industrial clock. To understand why we're stuck, we have to go back about 150 years. Before the Industrial Revolution, most people worked for themselves. They were farmers, artisans, small business owners. Their income wasn't linear, it was lumpy. Some months were great, some months were lean, but they controlled their time and their destiny. Then came the factory system, and with it, the creation of the modern employee. Henry Ford didn't just invent the assembly line, he invented the idea that a person's time could be bought and sold in fixed increments. 8 hours of work equals 8 hours of pay. It was revolutionary for its time, and it created the middle class. But here's what most people don't realize. The system was designed to create dependence. You show up, you do your job, you get paid, you go home. You trade your time for money, and when you stop trading your time, the money stops. It's a trap disguised as stability. Fast forward to today and nothing has fundamentally changed. Sure, we have technology, remote work, and flexible schedules. But the core structure remains. Most people still sell their time for a wage. And here's the cruel math. Time is the only resource you cannot create more of. You have exactly 24 hours a day. If you're trading those hours for dollars, there's a hard cap on how much you can earn. No amount of hard work will let you earn more than 24 hours worth of pay in a day unless you find leverage. The wealthy figured this out long ago. They don't trade time for money. They trade capital for returns, ideas for royalties, systems for profits. The CEO of a company doesn't earn more money because they work harder than the janitor. They earn more because their compensation is tied to leverage, the company's revenue, the stock price, the value of the brand. Meanwhile, the employee is told to be grateful for their 2% raise and their annual bonus, while inflation erodes their purchasing power year after year. This isn't an accident. The system was built this way to ensure a steady supply of labor. If everyone understood how to build wealth through ownership, who would show up for the 9 to 5? First step to breaking free is recognizing that you're playing a rigged game, and you can't win a rigged game by playing by the rules. Invisible wealth drains. Now let's talk about the hidden mechanics that keep you broke while you think you're being responsible. Number 1, the convenience tax. Every time you buy a coffee instead of making it at home, every time you order delivery instead of cooking, every time you pay for a subscription you don't use, you're paying a premium for the privilege of not thinking about your money. The average American spends about $150 a month on coffee shop drinks. That's $1,800 a year, invested in an S&P 500 index fund earning an average of 10% annually. That $1,800 becomes over $400,000 in 40 years. That coffee isn't just a coffee. It's a future vacation, a down payment on a house, a year of early retirement. But it doesn't feel that way because it's small, it's habitual, and it's normalized. Number 2, the subscription trap. Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime, Apple One, gym memberships, meal kits, software subscriptions. The average American household spends over $200 a month on subscriptions, and most people don't even know exactly how many they have. A study from West Monroe found that people underestimate their subscription spending by an average of $70 per month. That's $840 a year disappearing into the digital ether, money that could be working for you instead of just making your life marginally more convenient. Number 3, the car payment. The average new car payment in 2025 is over $700 a month. The average used car payment is over $500 a month. For most people, their car is the second biggest expense they have after housing, and it's a depreciating asset that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. A car that costs $35,000 new will be worth about $15,000 in 5 years. That's a loss of $20,000, not counting interest, insurance, and maintenance. Meanwhile, a reliable used car for $15,000 will get you from point A to point B just as well. The difference? $20,000 that could have been invested. Here's the thing. None of these decisions feel like bad decisions in the moment. They're normal. Everyone does them. And that's exactly why they're so dangerous. The system is designed to make small, frequent, painless extractions from your bank account, all while making you feel like you're living a normal, comfortable life. The wealthy don't fall for this. They optimize, they minimize, and they invest the difference. The ownership engine. So what's the alternative? How do you stop being comfortably broke and start building actual wealth? The answer is simple, but it's not easy. You have to shift from being a consumer to being an owner. Let me explain the core concept. There are 3 types of income: earned income, portfolio income, and passive income. Earned income is your salary. It's the most heavily taxed and the most limited because it's tied to your time. Portfolio income comes from selling assets like stocks or real estate that have appreciated in value. Passive income comes from assets you own that produce cash flow without your active involvement: rental properties, dividend stocks, royalties, businesses that run themselves. The wealthy get most of their income from categories 2 and 3. The middle class gets almost all of their income from category 1. To flip the script, you need to systematically redirect a portion of your earned income into assets that produce portfolio and passive income. The strategy is called the wealth multiplier. Here's how it works. Instead of spending your after-tax income on things that depreciate, you spend it on things that appreciate or produce cash flow. A car depreciates. A share of a company that's growing in value appreciates. A streaming subscription is an expense. A rental property that generates monthly cash flow is an asset. Now you might be thinking, Tom, I don't have enough money to buy rental properties or invest in stocks. But here's the secret. You don't need a lot to start. You just need consistency. If you can redirect even $100 a month from convenience spending into a low-cost index fund, in 20 years at an average 10% return, you'll have over $75,000. If you can redirect $300 a month, that's over $226,000. And if you can redirect $500 a month, that's over $377,000. The math is undeniable. The only question is whether you're willing to change your habits to make it happen. The wealthy don't get wealthy because they're smarter or luckier than you. They get wealthy because they have a system for redirecting their income into assets. They optimize for long-term appreciation, not short-term comfort. The habit swap framework. Let me walk you through the analytical framework for breaking out of the comfort trap. It's not about deprivation. It's about intentional redirection. Step 1. Audit your spending with surgical precision for 1 month. Track every single dollar you spend, every coffee, every subscription, every takeout meal, every impulse buy. Use a spreadsheet, an app, or a notebook. At the end of the month, categorize each expense into one of 3 buckets: essential, lifestyle, and wealth building. Essential is rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, transportation to work. Lifestyle is eating out, entertainment, subscriptions, new clothes, gadgets, vacations. Wealth building is anything that goes into an asset: investments, retirement accounts, education that increases your earning potential, real estate. Most people will find that 60 to 70% of their spending falls into the lifestyle category. This is where the extraction happens. Step 2, identify the 5 biggest lifestyle expenses that give you the least joy per dollar. Maybe it's that gym membership you never use, the premium cable package, the daily coffee, the car payment for a vehicle that's nicer than you need. Rank them by the ratio of cost to happiness. The ones with the lowest ratio are your first targets for elimination or reduction. Step 3. Create an automatic transfer system. Set up a separate brokerage account or a high-yield savings account that you don't connect to your checking account. Then set up an automatic transfer of the money you're saving from cutting those low-joy expenses into that account. The key is automation. You don't want to have to think about it. You want it to happen automatically, the same way your rent payment does. Step 4. Invest that money in a diversified portfolio of low-cost index funds that track the total stock market. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned an average of about 10% per year over the long term. That's the power of compounding. Step 5. As your investment account grows, use it as a foundation to explore higher return assets like real estate, small businesses, or even your own side business. The goal is to eventually reach a point where your passive income covers your essential expenses. That's financial independence. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, it's a get-rich-slowly scheme. But here's the thing. Slow and steady beats fast and reckless every time. The tortoise wins the race, but only if the tortoise actually starts running. Break the cycle now. Look, I know this is a lot to take in, and I know that change is hard. You've been living in this system your whole life, and it feels comfortable even if it's not working for you. But let me put it to you straight. The pain of staying the same will eventually become greater than the pain of change. Right now, you're trading a small amount of discomfort now for a lifetime of financial freedom. The alternative is to keep doing what you're doing and hope that somehow things will be different. But hope is not a strategy. The wealthy don't hope. They execute. They have systems, they have habits, they have frameworks, and you can build the same systems for yourself. It starts with a single decision. Are you going to be a consumer, or are you going to be an owner? Are you going to trade your time for money your whole life? Or are you going to build assets that work for you? The choice is yours, and you have to make it today. Not next month, not when you get a raise, not when you pay off your credit card, today. Because every day you delay is a day you're giving the system more of your money and more of your time. I want you to do something right now. Drop a comment below and share one habit you're going to change after watching this video. Maybe it's the daily coffee. Maybe it's the subscription you forgot about. Maybe it's the car payment you've been justifying. Just write it down. Making it public holds you accountable. And if you know someone who works hard, follows the rules, and still feels stuck, send this video to them. They need to hear this too. The system doesn't want you to know these mechanics. The system wants you comfortable, compliant, and consuming. You don't have to play their game anymore. You can build your own rules. Go look at your balance sheet with fresh eyes. Your future self will thank you.
Found this interesting? Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like, share it out, and drop your questions or ideas in the comments. Until our next adventure.